The captive bird. Once a merchant was passing through a forest. As night approached, his party perched tents on the bank of a lake in the forest itself and went to sleep. In the morning, the merchant's sleep thinned away with the singing of a bird. So sweet was the bird's song that he lay on his bed for a long time listening to it, feeling delighted. Then, unable to check himself, he came out and looked for the bird. On top of a tree sat the bird singing to the rising sun. The bird was as beautiful as its voice was sweet. Sweet bird, will you come with me to my home in the town? I will give all the comfort you might want and much more, said the merchant. Thank you, but I do not wish to leave this wonderful forest. This tree and my small nest here are comfort enough for me, replied the bird. You consider the forest wonderful, do you? That is because you do not know how wonderful the town is. My mansion is situated in the finest area of the city, and I have a garden the like of which is to be seen nowhere in the kingdom. I will leave the entire garden to you, said the merchant. I am sorry, sir, but I have no desire to see the wonders of your city, nor am I inclined to enjoy the luxury of your unique garden. Nevertheless, thank you for your offer, said the bird and resumed singing. The merchant returned to his tent, but he kept an eye on the bird while he enjoyed its music. After an hour, the bird flew away. The merchant devised a small trap with thin but strong cord and climbed the tree and set it in the bird's nest. With the end of the cord in his hand, he waited near the lake. The bird returned to its nest by midday. As soon as it sat down, the merchant pulled the end of the cord and the bird was entrapped, its legs caught in a tight knot. The merchant gently pulled the cord. The bird was obliged to come nearer him, flapping its wings in a helpless manner. Be sure I will never mistreat you. I will give you the best of fruits available in the world. You will dwell in a golden cage in my magnificent drawing room, said the merchant when the bird was at last in his hand. He then ordered his men to fold up the tents. After a few days, the merchant reached home. Very soon, the bird became the talk of the town. All the important people of the town came to see it. Although the bird's song was rather sad, people were still charmed by it. True to his word, the merchant kept the bird in a golden cage and provided it with the best of fruits. He never took a good dish himself without giving a bit of it to the bird. Look at the tributes and the treatment you get, the merchant often told the bird and asked, is there a second bird in the world which can claim to enjoy such comfort and position? The bird would sigh and keep quiet. 2 years passed. It was time for the merchant to go out on a business trip again. He stood before the cage and said, Sweet bird, I will have to cross the forest from which I had caught you. If you so desire, you can send a message through me to any of your friends in the forest. Oh, master, should you not be kind to let me go, now that I have already served you for 2 long years? Pleaded the bird. No doubt your presence in my house and your song have added to my joy and prestige. But for that, have I not taken great care of you? To allow you to go away is out of the question, replied the merchant. In that case, please do me a small favor. On the opposite bank of the lake from where you caught me stands an old banyan tree. There lives another bird, a childhood friend of mine. She must have felt bewildered at my sudden disappearance. Please stop under the tree for a while and tell her how I was taken prisoner by you and that I was pining away thinking of my freedom, my forest, and my friends. The merchant promised to do as requested. On his return journey, he spotted the old banyan tree and had a close look at it. Indeed, there sat a solitary bird on the topmost branch of the tree. The merchant delivered the message sent by the captive bird. It seemed the bird on the tree listened to his speech with rapt attention. But to the merchant's great amazement, instead of giving a message in return, the bird suddenly dropped into a bush below. The merchant stood there for a while, but there was no sign of the bird stirring inside the bush. He understood that it had died. Perhaps the news of its friend's custody proved too great a shock for it, the merchant concluded. When the merchant was back home, the captive bird asked him most eagerly, Did you meet my friend? Yes, replied the merchant, but as soon as your friend heard all about you, it fell dead. I'm sorry to inform you. The captive bird gave out a shriek and dropped dead inside its cage. The merchant felt extremely sad. Perhaps I should not have told it about its friend's death, he thought. He then opened the cage and brought the bird out and laid it on the floor. No sooner had he taken his hands off the bird than it flew away into the garden and perched on a tree. What is this? Asked the merchant in bewilderment. Don't you understand? Said the bird. This is the course my friend advised me to follow. What she did when she heard you was in fact her advice to me what I should do to gain my freedom. The bird then rose high and with swift movements of wings disappeared into the clouds. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Do provide your feedback in the comment section below. Thanks for listening.